this time of year, my thoughts they never seem to clear at night. I lay awake, and in my dreams I see the plug, but by the morning I forgot I'm not quite the spy they say. I'm falling down again. I'm falling down again. A panic attack at a shopping mall. Retail terror seizes all and takes a hold of me. Had this a while, but it's been worse, or it's had me, I'm not for sure, and nothing's as it seems. I'm falling down again. I'm falling down again. Yuletide smiles and eggnog. She worked for a while in a coffee shop, and like the leaves blew away.
Guys, we are here today with, first off, hello Springfield.
Hello, Springfield.
We're here with none other than the man himself, Joe Dillstrom. And Joe's here to talk about a bunch of cool stuff with us today. That music right there, that's him. And it's an all Joe Dillstrom episode today. It's just all Joe music, all Joe news. We're going to talk about Joe Bridges a little bit. He's got some shows coming up. So I'm pretty excited to have you.
It's good to be here, man.
This is like the third incarnation of one of these shows that you've been on.
Yeah.
And usually they include information about Joe Bridges. I don't exactly know what the whole Joe show is.
Synchronicity, man.
That's right. But this time you got your name right there. I'm touching your name. It's just getting a little awkward.
It goes wherever I go.
That's true. So what's been new in the world of Dillstrom?
Oh, man, just been keeping busy, playing gigs. Last night I was down in Joplin with Jessamine Orchard and Ryan Dunn. We played Redding's Mill Inn Bar and Grill, which is this great little, like, old bar, like, built in, I think, 1882. Used to be a brothel. So between, like, Lindbergh's and Redding's and a few places, you're kind of on the former brothel circuit, you know?
Yeah, you need to just, like, have a brothel tour.
Yeah, man, but before that, you know, Justin and I, we played a couple of gigs in a couple of smaller towns, like Roscoe and Humansville. You know, didn't get abducted, so that was cool. I think there's conspiracy there. And
Well, that was Aliensville.
Exactly.
Where you'd get abducted.
Exactly.
So what happened in Humansville?
Oh, we played Murphy's Pub, which is an awesome, I think it's also one of the oldest, I think 1888 or something like that. And real cool folks. Gwen is the owner and kind of manager there, and her last name escapes me at the moment, but like we had a great time, man, and just been doing that, you know, playing a lot, just getting out of town, doing stuff in town, like White River, you know, down at Bear Creek a lot, just, you know, anywhere I can make some noise and they'll have me. That's been a thing, and then doing the gig page and keeping up with that, and then queuing up for a full band thing that we got going on, and stuff like that, man. Keep them busy.
Yeah, earlier we were talking, and you said that ever since spring hit, you kind of hit the ground running, and you weren't kidding.
Yeah, man, trying
you
to.
Got
you know,
thing after thing going on. I'm gonna play some more of the Joe Dillstrom Revolving Doors album. Let's see what we got here.
This fella recorded, by the way.
Oh yeah, I did.
And did an exceptional job, if I
Thank you.
say so myself.
This song is Delta Rose. So you want to tell people the story behind this real quick, or?
You know, it's just sort of trying to bring some rock and roll back into the Ozarks. I mean, that was the whole idea. It was just write a sort of classic sounding rock and roll song.
Cool. Well, here it is, Delta Rose by Joe Dillstrom.
And it's harder for me on my own. Counterfeit change in a counterfeit town. You know that I'm not me when you are not around. And it's harder for me on my own. There's a world inside that you can't hide. Tell me what goes on behind your eyes. Do you think it's time? You're a Van Morrison song come to life. The horn parts on domino, wild night. And it harder for me on my own. There's a world inside that you can't hide. Tell me what goes on behind your eyes. Do you think it's time? Ride on by me slow, my Delta Rose. There's nothing quite like seeing you as you go. And it's harder for me on my own. And it's harder for me on my own.
Oh, Joe. So that's a fun one. You were talking about whenever you guys worked that up for a full band.
Mm-hmm.
You've got a special surprise for people in there. I'm doing the saxophone motion while I'm doing that.
Yeah. We've got a cool little thing in store for that tune. We recently just me and Justin Larkin, Ryan Dunn, Clinton Hausman, and Seth Randolph. Ryan Dunn, amazing saxophone player. Clinton Hausman, solo artist and also lead guitar player for the Random Strangers.
Mm-hmm.
Seth Randolph, drummer for Mood Ring Circus and like 19 other bands, and he's amazing. And Justin Larkin, of course. We started this thing, just the C Street Band is what we're calling ourselves, and we kind of worked up an arrangement of that and just a bunch of my songs, and Ryan's got a badass saxophone part in that tune, so
It's exciting. Ryan play which show does Ryan play in Branson?
I can't remember the official title, but it's something like hits of the 60s or something like that.
Yeah.
And pardon me for not remembering it, but something like that, and he's just amazing, and just kicking ass and taking names. That's what the Ryan Dunn way.
That's true. One of the nicest guys. I think it's funny that the people that you've got composed in this band are like some of literally the nicest dudes that I've ever met, just all in one spot. It's so cool. So I guess we're gonna play another song here. This is Eternally Temporary. If I can find that here. Yeah, this is Eternally Temporary by Joe Dillstrom. Is there any specific story for this one, or?
This is about just trying to make sense of where you're at, when you're between things, I guess.
A thousand indecisions and a secret that's not so far behind. And if you crack the code and know the road that winds on like a river, will it find you somewhere on down the line? Trying to find your own way home, wherever you might. Now who you gonna run to? Among the wandering world overflow, you've come to know the broken, where the night walks alone along the rim. And a change of heart is rarely large enough to be revealing. And just like that, you're right back here again. open up and close so fast, and you're burying the future in the past. How long will it last? Somewhere in between eternally and temporary line, the questions that lingered here tonight. And in the middle of the middle, there's a lot more than a little, as you set out for yet another time, trying to find your own way home, wherever you might. Now who you gonna run to, and what might lie beyond there?
All right, guys. Hey, if you want to get some nice recordings done, just like my man Joe Dillstrom, find me over at the Varakus Group. That's over on South Glenstone in the shopping center where CD Warehouse used to be, right next to that half-price bookstore. You can find me, Kevin Dunn, and a whole bunch of other engineers, producers, photographers, graphic designers, and video editors, all under one roof. It's your one-stop shop, and we're even next door to a screen printer. It's the Varakus Group, and they're so gracious to sponsor this show. I'm here today with Joe Dillstrom, who is a local artist and musician who's bringing local music into the forefront. I know that you were talking online with you've got kind of a collective going right now of people who are just kind of volunteering their show information, and you all have this like show pool.
Yeah.
That's going on. Tell me more about that.
Oh, sure. So the page, it's sort of like a group page, and it's called Springfield Mo Gigs and Shows, I believe. And what it is I create just a weekly thread of, where are you playing from May 25th through 27th? And I usually post that on a Monday. And then like people who are in the group page just post, either their event or they just list some information. And usually by Wednesday or so, I like collate all of that and I put it into just a clean list form, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and I tag as many people as I can, like the artist page or whoever, and also the businesses or the venues that are hosting the event. And the whole idea behind the thing was collective self-promotion, like we're all kind of, it's a practical instrument to just promote everyone simultaneously. And also to spotlight the local venues and businesses, breweries, restaurants, etc., that are having us come out and play, because we want to get people aware of, that. I mean, it's my hope that somebody, and actually before that, in fact, with this list, once I post it to the group, then we share it out, because as you know, and as most of you probably know, Facebook's algorithms for like seeing stuff are really restrictive. And this is a way to kind of puncture that and get all of our stuff kind of out there beyond our individual networks. Like, something I'm doing might end up on Person Y's outlet, and we're hoping that will kind of present Springfield music as a more unified construct, so where people go, oh, wow. Because if somebody sees like their buddy's band's show at wherever, they might go, oh yeah, like of course, they're playing a show. But if they start to see these lists of 15 to 25 or whatever events every week, they'll go, oh my God, there's more happening in Springfield music than I thought. So that's kind of the subliminal.
Plus there's name recognition with
that. Name recognition, exactly, yeah. And it's my hope that somebody will see a list like that and they'll go, what's this place, oh, White River Brewing Company, what's that? I didn't know that there was a brewery on C Street, and like that'll plant that seed in their mind and get more people out there. So we're all just trying to kind of help each other out with that, and it's just a nice, positive thing that's kind of helping bring us together. I mean, I've noticed that more of us are talking to each other and kind of keeping up with what each other's doing and sharing each other's stuff, and which I did discover something through that. If you see event pages and so on for like your friends or just a band or whatever, if you click interested, Facebook will like put that on the news feed, like Joe Dillstrom is interested in thing, and that will kind of give free promotion to whoever is in question. You know, like,
Yeah,
whoever's
it
got the
helps
thing. It does, man.
a
And,
lot. Just click going. You don't have to go. Just click going, because everybody knows that the Facebook going, not going, interested thing is kind of a crapshoot at this point. Like, we
Exactly.
know that it's not, the numbers aren't going to be the same, but it is a way for you to help people get their information out about the show.
Exactly, and it's a button click, you know, and so that helps everybody out, and it's a simple, effective way to, again, break through those algorithms that are just really dumb. And so that's something we also all kind of do as well. We indicate our interest in each other's shows, and I think our next goal with the group is to invent a device to where we can all be in like different places at once, you know. So we're gonna try to manipulate like quantum physics,
reality,
and, you know. So that's the next goal. Space and time. We're gonna break that soon. But in the meantime, we're just using this list to promote our gigs, and I just started it with the intent of, again, presenting us all kind of as a collective, because I think, I mean, it's that same adage, you know, like rising tide lifts all ships. But I don't know. One thing that sets us apart as a music community is that we are all rooting like for each other. You know, I mean, of course there are little things here and there, like differences and so on, but like for the most part, you've got a really positive, like forward-thinking group of people that are all kind of in it together. And this gig page and the list that it creates every week is kind of a reflection of that. And so it's, I think above all else, it's a gesture of solidarity.
Yeah, it's mutual support, and
Exactly.
It's like, you know, I will hold you up if you hold me up, and we'll build a tower of people together. And
Exactly, yeah.
And it seems to be working really well. You guys have, I mean, it started out with just you and like Justin Larkin and a couple of other people like listing your shows, and then it kind of grew into this large thing with just some people I've never even met.
Yeah, same here. And like as a consequence of that, I've talked to more people, and it, you know, it's a nice thing to kind of bring us all closer together. Because I mean, one thing that we all know, you know, as musicians or at any level of sort of the enterprise of music, I mean, it's such a difficult position to be in at times, you know, because you're constantly, I mean, I used to joke that like art in general is just sort of an exercise in self-loathing. Like,
it kind of
it's
is,
a constant just, you know, I'm not good enough, I don't have enough talent, like nobody likes me. You've got that thing inside your head, and this is a way to kind of combat that together. And, you know, so like that's what we're all about, is just being positive and kind of presenting things like that. And it's been a kind of a nice success, I'd like to think, and we're just trying to make it bigger and better, and, you know, find ways to kind of synchronize like what you're doing with like what like Brett is doing, with, like this little thing that we've got, and like Sammy, you know, the Springfield area music industry thing that's now going on. Pardon me, that's now going on. I mean, we've got these really great outlets, and like, you know, where the whole, you know, is like even greater because of the sum of its parts. You know, like that's the whole intent of, I think, what we're all kind of doing individually. And so like that was just a little contribution that I felt that I could make, was just like, okay, I can organize things, like, and I can put a, you know, like, it's
that's
a simple,
huge contribution. Like I think a lot of us at one point or another have thought, I wish that there was one aggregator for all of the smaller local shows that are going on, because, you know, like if it's an enormous show that's going to get promotion, but like these smaller shows sometimes get dwarfed.
Absolutely. And like on my end, I'm still trying to find a way to do through the week shows, like, and but the reason that I like originally set it to weekends was just, if I did the whole week right off the bat, then I would be just making continuous like lists, you know.
Yes.
And so this kind of gives a nice timeline where the thread comes up on Monday, and everybody kind of loosely knows that they've got until like about Thursday morning or so for me to put it together. And then Thursday morning or afternoon is when I post it. So there's a nice natural time frame each week. Whereas if we did it like through like all week, then I would just be kind of constantly like, you know, and
it would be a full-time job.
yeah, but I still want to find a way to do it eventually. It's just like, I figured that would be something like, that's a problem that we could solve on down the line.
Yeah.
So, but man, it's going well, and like it's been a nice way to just meet some folks that I haven't met before.
Well, I'm going to play Osaka now, and tell me about this song.
You know,
It's from the perspective. This whole album. First off, this album, Revolving Doors. I'm just going to take your words here. This album, Revolving Doors, is a lot of. It's about change. It's about people who have gone into situations and have reflected on them, and you know, maybe they're passing through a part of their life that is maybe complicated or maybe self-complicated in some way, and it's kind of a reflection of that.
Yeah.
Am I right?
Absolutely, yeah. It's these sort of character sketches of lives in flux, you know, just like uncertainty, transition, and they're kind of going through different things. And like, I was trying to depict that because I love like Chekhov, like Russian writing in general, but Chekhov was he wrote from that perspective. Like Edward Hopper paintings depict a similar kind of, you're getting a snapshot of someone's life. And I tried to just adapt that in sort of narrative song form. And yeah, Osaka was kind of written from that perspective of a guy who's just tired and worn out, and he's in Japan for reasons that are kind of not even entirely known to him, but he's just trying to make it onto the next thing, and that's Osaka.
All right.
And I love Japan. So.
When the cherry blossoms all start thawing and the windmills chime, I'll look for the one who wanted more and left it all behind. And I think that you might have been a spy, kept a follow on me, wore me down until there was nothing left for your agency. One reminder, a two-timer, three that I recall. Can I fake it? Will I make it? Wonder when my wounds will mend at all. When the cherry blossoms all start thawing and the windmills chime, I'll look for the one who shut the door and open it up twice. In Osaka, I'll walk these streets out on my own. It's behind me, now I might be on my way back home. There's neon everywhere, you know.
Hey, if you're going to be at the Outland complex this weekend, or if you're a weird pervert, come on down to the Night of Sin. It's going to be May 26th. That's tomorrow, Saturday. Dress up like a slutty nun or a creepy priest or perverted priest. There's one. Come on out and have a good time. It's an unholy mass of sinful fetishes. If you've ever been to one of the fetish shows at the Outland, you know what's in store, and probably stuff you've never even heard of is going to happen. So they've got St. Andrew's crosses. They've got bondage demonstrations. There's going to be like floggings and weird stuff. Suspensions are going to happen, so they're going to hang people from like hooks and ropes and all kinds of fun stuff. So if you're into weird stuff like that, this is another one brought to you by Joe Bridges and that whole thing, JBE Entertainment, that he's doing over there. It's ages 18 plus. Because there's all kinds of creepy shit going on. Have a good time and come out there and join us. I've got some more songs from the man himself, Joe Dillstrom, coming up in just the next few minutes. Actually, let's just cut back to you.
Sure.
Real quick. I've got some more songs here, but it'll take me a second to get back to them.
Oh, no worries.
So you were talking to me about the state of this album, and it's really kind of more of a stripped down approach to music.
Yeah. They're very, like, I think that the goal that we both had when we did it was to put the songs front and center, you know, and the thematic, I think, intent was that these are characters who have been sort of waylaid by circumstance, and their own lives are kind of muted. Like, they don't really have a strong sense of what's going on. And so, and frankly, you know, they're kind of weakened, a lot of the characters or the speakers in the songs. So part of it was to kind of present it in that sort of form where, I mean, these people are just kind of hanging on and they don't have a lot to grapple with.
Yeah.
And to kind of highlight the loneliness of that, I think, is why we really pared it down. Pared it down. And I also really love Bruce Springsteen's album, Nebraska.
Yeah.
And, yeah, like, that's my favorite album of his, bar none. But, like, it has a similar approach where it's just these really, like, lonely kind of stripped down. And, like, Tom Waits' Closing Time is a very understated, restrained kind of album. Mm-hmm. And so those were kind of the touchstones for the thing. And yeah, I feel really good about it. Like, I'm proud of it, and I think it's, I don't know, it has, I mean, there's definitely melancholy and there's definitely kind of challenging things, but my goal was to present it with enough warmth to make it kind of redemptive, you know, to give it, I didn't want to just, like, bum anybody the hell out with it. It was to hopefully go, hey, you know, you might relate to this, but there's a ray of sunshine on the other end. So a lot of them are kind of bright, even though they're, you know, they acknowledge the gloom, but they kind of are looking forward, I think. And that was part of the title, you know, was like things kind of get rough and they cycle back around again. I mean, that was the whole reason for calling it Revolving Doors, you know, is they might end up back where they started, but there's still more room ahead.
So tell me about this next song, Oh My-Oh. This is from the perspective of a grandmother, correct?
Yeah. You know, one day I was driving on the highway, and you know when you get those late afternoon beautiful, like, views of, like, a cornfield or just, like, a lot of like a wide tall grass over farmland in Missouri. Yeah. Like, I think we all,
rolling
like,
hills.
Yeah, like, you just get that, and when the sunlight hits it just right, you get this kind of wistful feeling. One day I was driving and I just had the thought of, I mean, yes, I'm literally seeing it, but who might be seeing that from a character point of view? And I realized maybe it was a young girl going off to college or to wherever, 18 or 19, say. And I thought, who might be seeing that person seeing that image? And I realized maybe I got this image in my mind of, like, an older woman, a grandmother, whose granddaughter is kind of going off to see the world. And, like, the only thing that this woman has left is her granddaughter. And so, I mean, you know, I just had, all of this kind of came at once where, like, she doesn't get along with her own daughter, her husband doesn't listen to her, she's kind of in this world of, like, alienation, you know?
I got goosebumps.
and I thought maybe we all kind of need that thing that we can hold on to. And for this particular woman, it was the image of her granddaughter kind of seeing the world for herself for the first time. And also, oh my, is a phrase that Hank Williams would use in a lot of songs. It's just kind of an old, you know, country kind of phrase. And so that was kind of the pet name for the daughter from the grandmother. So when she says that, that's kind of, she's referring to the young girl.
All right, so here it is. This is actually one of the songs that we put on this album, and you decided that we should do a little bit more instrumentation on this one. So it's a whole lot of fun. This is Oh My-Oh.
And you'll always be true, oh my-oh. Now's the time for you to go find. There's a wide world out there, oh my-oh. Oh my-oh. I won't be running for a while. Think I've seen enough of what's to see. But never mind me, how far out there will you be? And do you ever think of home, oh my-oh? Oh my-oh. Grandpa's changed his ways. Now he listens to half of what I say. There's twice as much, but still not enough. Take me to the places that I knew, and your letters home and where you lay your head. Right
you guys. This Sunday, if you go to the fetish show on Saturday and you heal your wounds and put, what do they call that, lidocaine or whatever on them so they don't hurt anymore, and you can get out again the next night, come out to Strangelove. Or even if you don't go to the fetish show, Strangelove is your I don't even know how to describe it. I was trying to come up with something clever, but to be honest, it's hosted by the Side Project, which is Clayton and Jeff from Torment, and they do some synth pop, witch house, post punk, synth wave, retros, 80s music. So basically, I don't know, like, look at this right here. This is what it sounds like. That's the best way to do it. So if you are Austin Cordy or Steve Singer or TK Russo or any of those other people I know like this kind of music, if you run around in those circles, you're probably going to like this too. Up in the future, we'll probably put some of those dudes on it. I'll have some more information about music coming on up. I'm going to play some more Joe Dillstrom right now before we come back to him and then wrap things up. You guys are watching Hello Springfield. It's your favorite Springfield podcast. I'm doing this thing. It's Friday. I'm getting excited, y'all.
Copyright protected. Just in case anybody says my thoughts aren't my own, they can forget it. I wish I spoke in a language you could hear, or a code that could compress the emptiness into something real. For yours was the one I knew the best. Now and then I look out on a night that has already passed, traded in for daytime and a million more things beyond my grasp. I wish I held on long enough to try to say that I came close. It's something that I haven't learned to hide. I feel like everybody knows. If you could tell me who to send this to, I'll be on my way. Never been a natural, but I've acquired some kind of fallen grace. I wish I knew just what I was doing, could find the words inside. In case you want to look upon a ruin, here's a postcard from a long decline.
Well, we're back here with Joe Dillstrom. Thank you so much for coming in today,
Thanks
man.
for having me, man.
I always have a good time hanging out with you.
Likewise, man. Yeah, it's so good to see you.
It's good to see you too. We need to do, like, the next time you come in, we'll do like some kind of a challenge or something.
Cool.
I guess we can talk about this. I found these at a thrift store a while back. It's I Love Meat stickers. Look, you can tell I paid 25 cents for it. So it's not really a challenge or anything, but I guess we can look at these. There's that. So this album that you made, Revolving Doors, you've sold out of it twice now.
Mm-hmm.
So literally hundreds of copies are out there.
They're in the world.
It's made it aluminum so far.
Yeah, exactly.
But tell people how they can find it. If they don't want to, they can't get a hard copy.
Sure.
You're on all of the main streaming platforms, right?
Yeah, all the main streaming platforms. Spotify for sure, iTunes, Amazon Music, Google Play. I've also got a Bandcamp page under my name. So basically, anywhere that you might find music of some kind, Revolving Doors is probably on there. 99% chance, anyway. Thank you, DistroKid.
Yeah.
But that's kind of where you can find it, And I'm pretty active on Instagram and Facebook. That's where I kind of post cool things from the road, or just like pictures, or try to create content that's interesting, that's relative to that. And yeah, I mean, you're welcome to follow me on there, or add me on Facebook, or like the page, or do whatever you'd like.
So Facebook/Joe Dillstrom.
Yeah.
And then what do you have? Some of those @ things that say Joe Dillstrom too? Is that what it is?
Oh, yeah, like I think my Instagram is like @JoeDillstrom_music, Either my name or my name with music attached to it, and that's probably where you can find me. I'm pretty easy,
Yeah. There's not really a lot of Joe Dillstroms out there.
That's true, yeah.
There's one other guy on Facebook that I saw.
Oh, yeah, and actually that's like my distant cousin, I learned. Never met him, but I was like, oh, there's another one, like...
That's pretty cool.
We were, prototypes from a lab somewhere.
X1 and X2.
Exactly.
All right. Well, hey, guys, thank you so much for joining us today. Thank you to Joe Dillstrom. Thank you to the Varakus Group for sponsoring the show. Thank you to Brett Johnston and CompassRose.Online. Go to check that out. You can see Joe Dillstrom. Joe Bridges has some shows coming up. What are the dates for your thing coming up?
Oh, yeah, tomorrow at Lindbergh's,
Yes.
around 9 p.m., Sly Iris are playing, which is Samantha Hubler, Alicia Thomas, Nash Riley Smith, and Andy Havens. Great, like, folk, gypsy, jazz kind of collective. And then our first performance of Joe Dillstrom and the E Street Band, which Ryan Dunn, Clinton Hausman, Justin Larkin, and Seth Randolph. And kicks off around 9, I think covers $5. And that's my next thing. I've got a show at Harvest House on Wednesday, this coming week, and then Friday doing the concert series at the Square for Art Walk. I'll be playing a couple sets for that, and so that'll be all on my page through the week as it gets closer.
Cool. So go check it out. This is what do we got here? This is The Legend. We're gonna leave with The Legend. Thank you guys so much. Varakus Group.
Hey, thanks, guys.
CompassRose.Online. Outland Complex. Check it out. OutlandComplex.com. This is the last song of the show. This is The Legend by Joe Dillstrom.
And you're blown back by the gale. Does the autumn ever come without a fall? Are you moving through a barrier built by your own design? Do the forms and systems rise above it all? Slow down, my friend. It's only the changing again. Did you see the Chinese boy check his chores and checkerboard? Did his consultation help you turn the game? Did it take you back to a midnight moonlight riding in the rain? Were you overcome by thoughts you could not explain? Slow down, my friend. It's only the world that's changing again. Does it still take everything you've got to tell yourself the truth? Is there only so much time in your day? Does the roadmap to your soul take some turns along the way? Has the legend faded more with every day? Are you burdened by the one who takes the blame? Does it all come down to what you just can't say?